Hey guys, good morning. So today I want to do a little plant haul video. I got my hands on the first really colorful summer annuals. I've been doing a lot with pansies and primrose and ranunculus and things like that, but right behind me I just got a few boxes in the mail late last night, got them unpacked, and I thought you guys might like to see them. So if you guys have been following us for very long, you know that we like to use a lot of annuals. We do a lot of big projects, big containers, lots of in-ground planting, just lots of color. It's so much fun because you get your bone structure in the garden going, your evergreens, trees, you've got shrubs and perennials, and that's all great, and I love to do that as well. But annuals are awesome because you can change up the look every single year. So there's always little areas in my garden that I dedicate, like this is where I'm going to plant annuals. So one year I'll do purple, one year I'll do yellow, and you can create a whole different look in each area of your garden every single year by doing that. And we've been working with proven winners for quite a long time, so it works out really well. But I got this stuff late last night. I got it out of the boxes, and I kind of wanted to show you what they look like when they arrive, but it was too dark, and it's recommended to get them out of the box right away. So they've only been sitting here for about 12 hours, and I thought you guys might like to see how they look when they arrive. And I wanted to talk a little bit on ordering things online versus picking them up locally. Both myself and proven winners recommend that you check with your local garden center first. I mean, that's my background. That's where I was raised. My parents have a garden center here in town. So of course, I always support local first, but we realize that sometimes it's not possible to find everything you need because one garden center cannot carry all of the plants that exist. So if you find yourself in a position where you either don't have a good source, because I have seen messages like that, like, hey, I would love to have the things that you plant, but I don't have a local garden center. So proven winners saw that need and thought, you know what, we'll just offer some of the plants online as a convenience to people who cannot get their hands on them locally. Of course, the cost is higher because shipping plants is a tricky business. To have plants show up looking like this, and that's how we all want our plants to look, it takes a lot of care and time to get things packaged properly. So anyway, I just wanted to talk on that a little bit. But now what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give you kind of a quick overview of what I have sitting here on the table, and then I'm gonna go through each one of them, and maybe I'll find some pictures and stuff with how I've used all of these in the past. So here's what I've got, you guys. Doesn't it look so springish and like Eastery? I love it because we're not even quite to Easter. I haven't even really done any Easter prep yet. So this is absolute perfection. All right, so I'm gonna start right to left. So the first one we've got is one of my favorites. This is called Superpetunia Bordeaux. You know I love purple. Look at the color of these flowers, like that lavender with the dark purple veining. Oh, and the fact that these came so full, like the foliage is healthy and they've even got color on them, like I'm amazed. Usually I'm not super concerned about plants that I order or plants that arrive having a lot of bloom because I know annuals, like given just a little bit of sunshine and some fertilizer, they will come into flower really quickly. You just want to make sure that like the plant is healthy itself. So I was really, really thrilled to open up boxes and see all of this gorgeous color. And that's the reason why I'm doing this video, because I'm just craving this right now. And I'm thinking maybe there's some of you out there who are craving it as well. So anyway, we used this in the hay racks up front. So that big long line of window basket hay racks that we put on our fence. We put this along with a few other annuals and it was beautiful. I also did Bordeaux exclusively in our front estate planters. So the great big black square planters we have. I did a arborvitae in the center and then just Bordeaux, and it reached all the way to the ground by the end of the season. Well, not even by the end of the season. It was probably like just late summer. So we had 2 months of the year where the Bordeaux was all the way to the ground and just full of color. I also used these in our self-watering containers last year. I used them in the landscape. I mean, I'll probably continue to use this one everywhere, every single year. Second one is Superpetunia Royal Velvet. This is another favorite of mine because purple. Look at that deep, clear purple color. I think it's beautiful actually paired alongside the Bordeaux because of them being in the same color family. I did in our self-watering containers this and Superpetunia Limoncello, which is a light kind of creamy buttery yellow Superpetunia, and it was just a glorious combination. I did notice that the Royal Velvet wasn't quite as vigorous as the Bordeaux, and it's kind of interesting every year when you pair different things together and try things in containers versus landscape, how different things can be. Can you guys hear the rain? It's like just started to pour. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. So next up is the Superpetunia Picasso in purple. Now if that doesn't look spring and Easterish to you, I don't know what would. So the bright pink with that beautiful green edge on it, it's just such a unique looking petunia. Now this one, I don't have as much experience growing. I haven't grown this like in multiple different areas before. I've had it as an accent plant in containers, but not like all on its own or as really a standalone like piece to shine in a container. So I think I want to try that out this year and just see how it performs. And it's always just fun to do that. I love to experiment. So this one right here, you guys, we get the name right. It's Bright Lights Double Moon Glow African Daisy. I love double flowers and I love light yellow flowers. And I think that this is a pretty good representation of what the plant looks like during the season. I mean, these are so full of color. Like, how in the world? Look at this. Look how pretty these are. I grew a ton of these last year in a flower bed, and I'm not so sure that I got a really good picture of it, but I did a big drift of these with some purple colored alyssum right in front. So check that out. Isn't that pretty? Let me see if I can get it closer so you can see that mix. That's a dark night alyssum, which I'll show you a little closer here in a second. But a beautiful pair together. And they were in kind of like a part sun location, and then like one corner of them didn't get quite as much light. And I did notice that they did a little bit better with more light, and it was morning light. So I think this year when I plant these, I'll put them in a spot that gets pretty strong light until maybe early afternoon, but like a good at least 6-hour block. But I noticed that I didn't have to deadhead these in order to keep them nice. They just kept on blooming and blooming, and they kind of just, I think they call them like self-burying. No, it's not on the tag, but you don't have to deadhead them in order for them to bloom, and then the old faded blooms like quickly disappear and you don't even see them. So it's not like you're a slave to maintenance with this plant, which usually when I see a plant that has daisy-like flowers, I think, oh my gosh, it's gonna look horrible in a few weeks. You know, I'm gonna have a whole bunch of dead ones that I'm gonna have to painstakingly go out and cut them back with scissors or my pruners, and it's just gonna take me forever. But it was not that case with this one, so I was really happy with the performance. Dark Night Alyssum then is next. Love the delicate alyssum. I love the smell of it actually. It's kind of like a nostalgic smell to me, especially when it's warm outside and you can kind of get a whiff of it. I've got also the White Night, so the white counterpart here. These are both extremely vigorous alyssum. They're not like the old varieties that maybe you're familiar with that you can buy in little 4-packs or jumbo 6-packs. These, let me get free hands here because these will grow huge. One year I grew a mixture of White Night and Snow Princess in the same area in Versailles. I pulled out one plant in the fall, and not kidding, let me back up. Whoop, let me not fall, trip over pots. But I pulled out that plant and it was as tall as I was. Like I was holding the top of the plant here and it went all the way to the ground. So they grow crazy huge, and they were full of color all season long. I also found that they didn't need quite as much water as some other annuals do. I mean, they need consistent water, but they're not like something that you really have to hammer with water all the time and be worried about. So I was just thrilled. I also love the fact that this one's cold tolerant. So you can plant this earlier on in the spring and expect it to last all the way through a hard frost. Like I think I was pulling these out at the end of November. So if you can plant like end of March and go all the way to the end of November, like that's a huge like workhorse in the garden. So Dark Night, White Night. I'll give you one more look at the White Night. And these grow about 4 to 6 inches tall, I think both of them. Yeah, so they're just a nice ground covery type of plant. I think they're really good to use underneath things. So if you need to underplant some areas in your garden, like these type of things are great in new flower beds where all of your plants aren't mature yet and it looks kind of wimpy. Like your shrubs will eventually fill in that space, but right now they look like this tiny little thing. Pack it full of some annuals that get huge like this, and then you'll enjoy it even when the shrubs are small. So this next one, this is Superbells Lemon Slice. These plants arrived massive. Look at this. So there's the tag. They do have some color on them. That bloom looks pretty nice. So bright yellow with the white striping. I've put this in containers mostly. I don't think I've done it in ground. In fact, Superbells, it's not really recommended to plant these in ground in the landscape. They just don't tend to like the conditions as well. They like containers like hanging baskets because they prefer to dry a little bit between waterings, as opposed to like your Superpetunias need to stay pretty consistently moist in order to perform the best. You don't want to stress them out with drying them down too much. But the Superbells like the soil to dry just a little bit before you water them again. So they're really good for hanging baskets that are either smaller or your hanging baskets, typically they drain the water so fast that you're having to water them all the time. So Superbells are a really good option for that. And that brings me to my last one, which is also a Superbells. called, I'm stuck to the table, hold on, what the heck, sweatshirt stuck to the wire on the table. Superbells Evening Star. The beautiful lavender is the main color, then you've got a deeper purple at the base of each petal. Then you've got kind of a white stripe that starts down and it gradually goes into a really bright yellow. Okay, are you guys impressed that these arrived in boxes last night? And I don't know how long they were in transit. Usually it's a pretty, you know, expedited situation, but still. So that is my annual plant haul for today. I'm so excited to be planting some things full of color that will last all season. And I love planting spring containers. I've planted a bunch already this year. Every year I go into spring saying, I'm gonna like ease off on the spring containers and not plant as many so that I don't have to be transitioning all my containers all of the time. But, you know, my plans go straight out the window when I start seeing like a sniff of color in the spring, and I end up planting a bunch anyway. But it's always nice to start incorporating the things that you get to nurture for a lot of months and get a lot of enjoyment out of. And actually all of these can handle a lot more cold than I've given them credit for in the past. You know, we're not having a really typical spring here. It's the beginning of April and our nighttime temps are already in the mid to high 40s. Usually we have intermittent freezing temperatures all the way through the end of April, maybe even the first part of May. So I might be risking it a little bit, but our track record is such that I think we'll be okay. So, I mean, that's something to think about. When these plants can handle a little cold in the spring and then they'll go all the way through a hard frost in the fall, that's like 8 months of enjoyment that you get out of plants like this. So that's something to think about when you're, you know, thinking about your plant budget for the year. What should I plant? What's going to provide the most amount of color, cover the most amount of space for my money? Well, you know, if you're planting things like this that get enormous and are blooming all summer long, that's a really good deal, a really good way to spend part of your plant budget. And again, I did want to stress that shopping locally is your best option. You know, if your garden center is not carrying all of the varieties that you really want, talk to them. Let them know what varieties you really want to see, and oftentimes they'll work with you, and whenever they see that one of the growers they order from is growing that, they will snag it as soon as they can. That's how we always were at the garden center. I had a mile-long list of things I was looking for people because, you know, we really want people to have what they want. You know, we want people to enjoy what they're planting in their garden. And the benefit of going to your local garden center is that you can look at a whole flat and be like, oh, I like the shape of this one best. You know, you can pick out the one that looks the best to you, the most full of color, the best plant shape. You can't do that when you shop online. You know, these have been really packaged with care. I mean, I know the people who pack up these plants. I know their names, and that makes it really cool. They really want you to have success with the plants. So again, you are paying a little bit of extra money to shop online, and it's just there as kind of a convenience to you guys so you can get your hands on the plants that you want. But if you can get it locally, do that first. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it inspired you and made you want to plant some stuff. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.